So this is going to be part 2 of this little video series. I'll link the first part if you haven't seen it. But if you just want to watch this one, again, I'll just give a brief summary. Most of these differences in the 1999 version stretch out the scenes nicely from the manga for padding reasons, not really filler. Whereas the 2011 version is more condensed, sharper, quicker to get to the new content right when the Chimera Ant arc starts. I said that in the previous video, but I'm just going to say it again for people who didn't watch that first video. So starting with episode 52 of the 1999 version, it adds a funny scene of Leorio, Killua and Gon having a dinner break discussing that they have to beat 800,000 more men in arm wrestling to earn a total of 2.5 billion yen. Now, before the Troupe kills everyone inside the auction, before the 1999 version adds this scene where the Troupe are outside, they're stopped by bodyguard security at the entrance of outside before you enter for the auction, and the Troupe just flat out just kill them right away and then go in there, hide in disguise. And then the next scene adds to the previous one that I mentioned, where the Nostrade family bodyguards, Beisei, Toshino and Uvlenkov are talking about the auction, and Uvlenkov notices that the security guards haven't arrived yet, and extra dialogue is added to this scene, like a monologue, so to say, with Dolzolne about the auction from where he is staying. After Shizuku sucks everything up from the bloodied floor with Blinky, there is a panel from the manga that isn't used in the 2011 version. It is used in the 1999 version. This is this mafia family member on his deathbed threatens the Troupe that whoever you are, we will track you down, the mafia will hunt you and kill you and all your families, and Franklin just quickly kills him out of their instant death. Next, when Kurapika arrives at the auction, in the 999 version, this scene's added of him finding BC's bracelet, all bloodied, implying her death off screen, even more. And when Kurapika and the other bodyguards decide what they're going to do, in the manga and the 2011 version, episode 43, Dolzolne heads out to meet Kurapika and Melody, but in the 999 version, he actually stays in the mansion at first. Now, episode 53 of the 999 version. Very small changes in the Uvo versus the bodyguards fight. This fight is stretched out more in the 1999 version compared to the 2011 one, which is a lot quicker. And Kurapika and the other Nostrade bodyguards observe the fight more in the 1999 version. And then when the Shadow Beasts pin Uvo down, I noticed that Uvo is a lot more frustrated in the 1999 version compared to the 2011 one. And even in the manga, it's portrayed similar to the 2011 version of Uvo, showing his effortless cockiness escaping. In the 1999 version, Nobunaga and Shalnak explain Uvo's Big Bang impact ability as an enhancer. And lastly for this episode, one really cool thing I noticed was that when Kurapika grabbed Uvo with the chains, it's a lot more intense in the 999 version, as when he's caught Uvo, there's this panning shot of Kurapika looking directly at Uvo, this intense glare, and then just the episode ends. Just a great way to end the episode. The music's great, and it was just a nice little touch, but very good. Now at episode 54 of the 1999 version, a scene's added of Dolzolne trading his nen before meeting up with the others with Uvo. This is nice because it shows him training his nen before his eventual fight with Uvo and his eventual death by Uvo. Whereas at episode 45 of the 2011 version, it just goes right into the scene of him trying to cut Uvo. No backstory, none of that whatsoever. And in the 2011 version, a scene is added showing Shalnak, Machi, Phaeton and Shizuku beating and killing the other Shadow Beasts. This was a group where one of them had the nen ability, which was able to hide the auction prizes into a really small bag, and also Nobunaga as well. The manga only mentions at chapter 79 from Shalnak that they took care of the remaining beasts, and Machi saying that they've got the loot. 2011 version gives further explanation to the manga panel, and none of this was in the 999 version. The best part about this scene is when Nobunaga eventually gets out of the bag. He's just so frustrated with Machi back at the hideout and Phaeton as well. And then the scene ends, Phaeton torturing the Shadow Beast guy who had the auction ability to put large objects into small bags, with Phaeton telling Machi that it was no trouble whatsoever to get the information out of him. And it's nicely added in the 2011 version, because right after that we get the scene of Hisoka asking Kurolo if he can go meet someone for 2 hours, which Kurolo agrees to. So connecting that manga scene with the one that was further elaborated on with the one manga panel was very good. Next, the 1999 version adds this really funny scene of Leorio showing off his nen, thinking it's great, but Killua and Gon telling him that it's only stage 1 of his nen training 10, and Leorio's ego just drops, it's destroyed, and Killua is not impressed at all, and he's just not surprised at all with Leorio. Next, the 2011 version adds a montage scene of Kurapika being really frustrated and angry that some of his fellow bodyguards were killed by the Troupe. Melody next comes in to the hallway, trying to calm him down with a smile. It's just a very nice scene. The flute OST from the 2011 version of Melody's theme is playing. It's nice. After Dolzolene tells the other bodyguards to take a break while he watches the captured Uvo, just before the Mafia security come to get him, the 1999 version adds these scenes of Leorio walking around Yorknew, still trying to advertise the arm wrestling matches with Gon and Killua. And when this is occurring, this nice, calm, but really chilly piano OST with some drum kicks is playing in the background. And the sound really conveys that bad, ominous things are still to come, especially with the sirens in the background, hovering in the darkness in the air with people on the ground in the streets. Just the whole architecture of the nightlife of Yorknew, it's really shown well, and it's a great scene that's added. The 1999 version adds another hilarious scene of Gon and Killua staying up late at the hotel watching TV past midnight. When Leorio returns, only Gon is caught awake because Killua is pretending to sleep. Classic Killua. When Kurapika meets Hisoka in the 1999 version, it's in a place that looks very secluded with stone walls and jail-like windows, whereas in the 2011 version, they meet at an amusement park. Very carny-like with the Ferris wheels. It's very ominous and most fans know about it. It just sticks out in photos. I like both versions, but the 1999 version did follow the manga with these scenes in the background. But regardless both of the scenes, it definitely seems that Kurapika and Hisoka are meeting in the abandoned, rundown district of Yorknew. Probably really close, or pretty close to where the Troupe are actually hiding, but probably several kilometers away from each other, both locations. After the Troupe trick Dolzolene and free Uvo, the 1999 version adds a scene before Dolzolene's death of him trying to delay the Troupe, if even by only a minute or 30 seconds before his eventual death off-screen to Uvo. I love this extra addition of his character development right at his end, dying a brave, tough man to the end, and it's portrayed greatly and accurate considering how serious Dolzolene was in the manga and both versions of the anime, hiring the bodyguards at the auction and trying to maintain Uvo captured for as long as he could. And the episode just ends so well, showing Dolzolene dead with his own sword while the phone rings in the background silently with no music playing. Next, we're up to episode 55 of the 1999 version. But first, episode 46 of the 2011 version shows Franklin being added, giving Uvo more beer, which was not in the manga. But the kiss, the famous kiss that Uvo gives Shalnak after gathering the info about the Nostrade family's location, is much more dramatic and hilarious in the 1999 version. After Uvo kisses him, Shalnak's like totally grossed out, typical like shonen stuff. And it's really just glossed over in the 2011 version. It just happens. There's no really any emotional reaction from Shalnak whatsoever. It just gets on to the next scene. Now, the 1999 version adds a scene of Melody analysing Kurapika's heartbeat when making the decision to stay at the hotel, knowing that the Troupe are coming. Melody notices a calm and vindictive heart. There's this scene that's added in the 2011 version of this underground boxing association where the strongest men of Yorknew fight for the highest of prizes monetarily. And this is the scene before the conditional bounty option on the Troupe takes place. So the agent that gets Leorio Gon into this fighting arena, they're both really hyped that Gon's eventually about to fight, but then the announcement about the bounties comes and the boxing is shut down. And Leorio and Gon a bit bummed out that they can't fight to earn a significant, serious cash, way more than they were making arm wrestling in the streets, making a couple of bucks. And the manga and the 999 version don't have this before the conditional bounties are put out, but just a nice little add-on. And also after that, the 1999 version adds this great little scene of Leorio correcting Gon for getting basic maths wrong for the total bounty of all 7 Troupe members. The 1999 version also puts Killer's explanation of why the Mafia needs people to look, as the Mafia couldn't do this themselves. They couldn't capture the Troupe. And this is kind of at Gon's expense, because Gon couldn't understand it, and Killer notices this and just shuts him down immediately. And interesting, much more time is used in the 2011 version for the crew, Leorio, Killer, and Gon trying to ring Kurapika. And getting to episode 56 of the 1999 version, when we compare that to the 2011 version skips out the panels from the manga at chapter 81 and the 1999 version of the crew commenting that they looked for 4 hours for Troupe members but found nothing. Now, while Kurapika is fighting Uvo, the 1999 version adds this scene in between their fights of Shalna probably thinking of Uvo as this paving, kind of like a transition panel happens. It's only for 2-3 seconds, and it's just a good little scene that's added, because you know how great the artwork in the 1999 version is. Those color backgrounds, hand drawn, are amazing, and it's just alluding to the future doom of Uvo. Just Shalnak worried, the animation, the art is great, and it just works. And last thing I noticed was that in the 1999 version, for the fight of Kurapika and Uvo, this version just blended Kurapika trapping Uvo and the Uzunabi flashbacks of Kurapika's training together more, and it just flowed more. Whereas in the 2011 version, they just play Kurapika trapping Uvo, then the whole flashback scene, then Kurapika trapping Uvo again, and then Kurapika eventually killing Uvo. The 1999 version kind of just skips out the fluff and gets the meat of these flashback scenes, cutting the time down, but just using the best parts of the flashbacks to interweave them into the main current time where the fight is taking place. But the manga starting at chapter 82 and what 2011 adapts, but both are fine really. You have one that's more condensed, more flow, whereas the other one is fully explained with all the detail, with more time being used. That's it. Thanks for watching the video, and also thanks for people who watched the previous video for the comments and the rates for that video. I was happy with how that video turned out, and I liked that many people did enjoy the video. These videos are time consuming to make, comparing both versions of the anime. I don't really have a consistent schedule for these because it's hard to stick to a schedule, I've found, with other commitments. But when I have free time and I want to work on these videos and I'm not busy with other life commitments, then that's when I feel I get them done the best. And for this video, I was literally working on it for about a week or 2 weeks in my spare time over a few days. So it just worked well then. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for part 3 of this series, follow me on Twitter and connect with me on my anime list, and have a great day, guys.